Did you enjoy pre-nerf Starfire Protocol? Do you still enjoy Starfire Protocol? May I present to you the Prismatic version, Star Arc Protocol, or Star Void, depending on whichever grenade you would want to run. How about we just go with Prismatic Protocol? This can be accomplished with the exotic Warlock bond SOLIPSISM and the 1 in 64 chance of having Spirit of Osmiomancy and Spirit of Starfire. Even if you don't have this role, Spirit of Osmio carries 80% of this build. Spirit of Starfire is just the cherry on top and makes it a Starfire build. What can you accomplish with this build? How about nearly infinite grenades, constant max health regains, solo ad clearing, damage resistance, damage buffs, tons of orbs of power, and more? When Starfire was at its peak, you could throw lots of strong fusion grenades, but it didn't have any way to really heal. With the Prismatic Protocol, your grenades won't be as strong, but you can throw way more and heal yourself at the same time. This occurs when you run the aspect Feed the Void, which grants Devour that activates upon an ability kill. Devour grants full health and 10% grenade energy on any kills within 10 seconds, and the timer is refreshed on kills while it's active. You'll also want to run the Empowering Rift, so your grenades recharge from empowered weapon damage, with empowered weapon final blows granting even more grenade energy. Basically, when your Rift is down and you're damaging enemies, you can spam grenades during that time too. Since we're using our Rift often, we might as well run the aspect Hellion, which summons a solar buddy that lobs flaming projectiles at targets and scorches them. For the super choice, I've been loving Song of Flame. Why not be nearly invincible and spam even more grenades and Hellions? Melee is up to you, but I always pretty much go with Arcane Needle. For your grenade, I think Storm is the best, but a strong argument can be made for Vortex as well. You can even do Cold Snap grenades, which can actually completely refill your grenade charge if you freeze enough enemies with a throw. Now on to the Fragments. I would say Facet of Dominance is mandatory if you're using either Storm or Vortex grenades. This allows our Storm grenades to apply Jolt to enemies, damaging more enemies and inflicting more damage, or our Vortex grenades to pull enemies within and apply Weaken, which make enemies easier to kill. Also, our Prismatic grenade, Freezing Singularity, will also apply the Weaken debuff too, since Freezing Singularity is half Vortex grenade. Speaking of Prismatic, we can go Transcendent when we inflict enough light, darkness, or kinetic damage. So we're throwing even more abilities while having a 5% weapon damage buff, something that Starfire Protocol is currently unable to do. Facet of Courage is another great fragment choice, where your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted by darkness debuffs, like Arcane Needle for example. See, it's a great melee choice. Also, this fragment gives plus 10 to your grenade stat. Since we'll get so many quick kills, you could use the fragment Facet of Awakening, where rapid kills with light or darkness damage generates a matching elemental pickup. Also plus 10 to resilience stat. Another good choice is Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates 60% faster, but there's currently a bug where if you're only amplified, the facet isn't active. Lastly, I like Facet of Protection. So while surrounded by enemies, you have more damage resistance. The DR is increased further while Transcendent. Also plus 10 strength. Hell yeah! Honestly, the fragment choices or even some of the abilities are flexible, and you can run whatever you prefer most. Now on to the weapons. I feel like it needs to be stated that the perk Demolitionist is a must on this build, where final blows with this weapon refund 10% grenade energy to primary weapons and 20% to special and heavy weapons. Enhanced Demolitionist improves these effects to 11% and 22%. Also, activating your grenade ability reloads this weapon from reserves while it's equipped with a short 3-second cooldown. Pairing the perk Enhanced Demo with Devour can grant up to 32% grenade energy per kill. Guess what darkness special weapon can use Enhanced Demolitionist? The Call. The Strand Special Sidearm is a perfect choice in this build, completing the perfect balance of darkness and light damage, while you can throw all the grenades your heart desires. I like the Call sidearm to use Enhanced Demo and Hatchling. You could use another 4th column perk over Hatchling. Pretty much all of them are good perks. There's a ton of other weapon choices you can go with that can use either Enhanced or not Demolitionist, even in the kinetic slot. This also means you can run basically any exotic weapon you want to. Tessellation is a great pick with having Demo built into the weapon. Now on to stats. Hey, guess what? This is a grenade build, so guess what stat we want to max out first? Yup, resilience. It will always be the most important stat in PvE until it gets nerfed again. After resilience, go discipline and then recovery. You should have triple hundreds for resilience, recovery, and discipline, even if you're a day 1 new light.
No exceptions.
I'm just kidding. Now on to mods. Since we're getting lots of grenade and weapon kills, let's make a lot of orbs of power too. If you're using the call, use a strand siphon on your helmet. If you're using a solar weapon, use a solar siphon. If you're using a weapon that matches your super damage type, use a harmonic siphon. Wow! Crazy. Also, I'd recommend either a heavy or special finder. On your arm mods, use either 2 or 3 firepower mods, which will spawn an orb on a grenade kill. If you run 3 firepower mods, you will create an orb on every grenade kill. If you run 2 firepower mods, you'll only be able to create an orb every 5 seconds per grenade kill, which half of the time will be just as good. You can also use bolstering detonation, which grants 12% of your rift energy when you deal damage with a grenade. It has a 7-second cooldown. Chest mods are up to you. I always use some resist mods depending on what activity I'm in. For leg mods, definitely use Innervation, which will grant 10% grenade energy for every orb pickup. Orbs of Restoration, so picking up an orb grants 10% ability energy to your ability with the least charge. Last leg mod I use is Absolution, for 5% ability energy for my grenade, melee, and rift. So let's say you just threw your grenade, and your other 2 abilities are more fully charged. When you pick up an orb, you'll receive 25% of your grenade ability energy. Because of pairing Innervation, Orbs of Restoration, and Absolution together. For your exotic class item mods, use the Mod Reaper. After using your class ability, your next weapon kill within 10 seconds will spawn an orb. Why not also use Bomber to grant 12% grenade energy upon activating your rift? Last mod is your choice. A good pick would be Utility Kickstart. Finally, let's not forget about our current seasonal artifact perks. First 2 columns don't really matter. Elemental Siphon for even more elemental pickups. Creeping Chill and Threaded Blast are good if they go with your setup. Radiant Orbs, to always be radiant on orb pickups. Galvanic Armor, to have more damage resistance while amplified. Solar Fulmination, so your ignitions do more damage in a larger radius. Shield Crush, so while amplified and/or radiant increases grenade recharge and damage. And Transference, to gain increased grenade and melee damage while transcendent. Also refund trans energy once it ends. Last but not least, the true PvE endgame, Fashion. Starfire Protocol itself is kinda on the ugly side. It does have an ornament for $6 or 600 silver that improves the look by like 20%. Since Solipsism is an exotic class item, you can literally wear whatever you wish for the rest of your look. Unlimited potential! And that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you to everyone that checked out this build video. If you liked the video or believe in charity in the slightest, leave a like on it. I truly appreciate everyone. If you didn't like the video or the build, make sure to leave me a hateful comment. Maybe I will appreciate your feedback. If you want to see more from me in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Not responsible for any and all deaths in GM content. Adios!